Hello, welcome to Yema is Me. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. I have been gone for a very, very long time. I have not been consistent, okay? But I wanted to talk about this topic about this little girl. They said she is, I believe, 12 or 13-year-old girl in Detroit, Michigan. Her name is Naziah Harris, and she has been missing. She's been missing since last fall. She was, manipulated by her mother's 40-year-old boyfriend. He manipulated her. They ended up having, relationships, sexual relations. He ended up, she told him that she had missed her cycle, and then the police said that he ended up researching abortion pills, how to do, at-home abortions, and he went and picked her up one day and took her, and her family had not seen her since. Her mother and her grandmother, allegedly, that's what they said. And in January of this year, 2025, he went on trial, of course, and the judge had ruled first degree murder, I believe, and the body of the little girl is still missing. And the judge, I appreciate what the judge said. The judge ruled that he did murder her, although they cannot find the body. They do believe she is murdered, and they sentenced him for kidnapping, child molestation, and murder charges. And it's just a sad case. Even when I think about the case, like when I thought about the case when I saw on Instagram, these rappers, I believe they were in Detroit, they made this song dedicated to her. And, just talking about what happened to her, how, her mother's boyfriend manipulated her, how she ended up finding out that she was pregnant, and how that man ended up taking her life, and how sad it is. And it is extremely sad, and you can just tell from reading the articles from Fox TV News about it, that her mother was not paying attention to her. She was not paying attention to how close her daughter and her boyfriend were becoming. She wasn't paying attention to the signs, and I believe that the mother saw the signs and she ignored them. That's what I believe. Sometimes with single parents, they can be desperate for love and affection, and they find it in the wrong places. And some of these people that they find this love and affection from, these people are pedophiles. These people are rapists. I know, they might bleep out that word on YouTube, but they're looking to harm their children. And I believe that the mother saw the signs, and I believe the mother ignored it. And another telling tale was when the grandmother was questioned by the police, and the grandmother said she thought it was strange that her granddaughter did not return home, and she was going to call the police the next day and file a missing persons report. The girl is 12 years old. School is over. Why was she not at your house after school? She's 12 years old. She doesn't come home. She's not with the mother. Where do you think she is? So that let me know that the mother and grandmother, they were not concerned about the child at all. I do believe that when cases like this happen, sometimes the mothers are also jealous of the daughters. They're jealous maybe they're jealous of their daughter's beauty, of their daughters, or that their partners are just attracted to their daughters and their sons, and fathers as well. And I just think that the death of the girl is so sad. I've been thinking about it. It's been weighing on me heavy ever since I saw that video on Instagram. And I was out Thursday, and it was my day off, and I was at Burlington Coat Factory, and just looking around, and I saw little kids. And I saw kids ranging from middle school, to high school and elementary school, and it just saddened me so much, because I thought, damn, at that time it was July. I'm like, end of July. I'm like, in August in North Carolina is when we start returning to school, for primary school. And I was like, damn, like, this Naziah Harris is not going to be going school shopping. Her mom will not be going school shopping for her. They won't be looking for new clothes for her. She won't be calling the doctor's office to get her physical, to get her vaccinations. Like, I was just thinking about that. You see these missing person cases, and sometimes, you just look at it, you just scroll past it, and it might not bother you as much. But something about that little girl's case, when I first heard it, it bothered me. But seeing the music video of these rappers talking about her case, male rappers, I was like, it bothered me even more. And maybe it bothers me more because I know what it's like to be a young kid, and you're in the stores or in the malls, and you have grown men trying to touch on you, telling you look older than your age, staring at your body. I've experienced things like that. And I also have a niece. I have a niece who's 11, who's about to be 12. And it just makes me think of my niece. And it hits me really hard. It makes me depressed. I don't know how we've looked at these missing person cases and these tragedies that happen to these children or anybody, and we just bypass it. Like, it's really bothering me. To know that her mother and grandmother did not look out for her. Then we don't even know where her father is, like the judge said. Where's her father? This little girl was manipulated by this man and, coaxed to have a sexual relationship with him. And I don't believe she even understood what she was doing. She understood the extent of what she was doing, what it meant, and why she shouldn't be doing that with that grown man. And he went and got her pregnant, and then he went and kidnapped her and performed some type of a procedure on her. And now her body is missing. So, I say that to say this, like, we have to remember her. We have to keep her name alive. There's a lot of children who are kidnapped, and their lives are lost that way because of neglectful parents, because of lack of community. And it's important that we talk to our kids, our nieces, our nephews about how they don't need to be having these type of inappropriate relationships with adults. You don't just tell them don't do it. You explain to them why they shouldn't do it. I just think about her. I just see these little kids, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, she was that same age, and I wonder what she looked like when she was a little kid. You could see that she was a pretty little girl. It's just sad that her life was taken. I do believe it probably was taken. They said she's missing. I don't know. I know Wednesday when I was thinking about her driving home, I was just thinking about her heavy. Like, it was making me depressed, making me sad, almost making me cry. It did make me cry. Actually, I cried. I don't even know her, and I cried thinking about it. And I said, God, I pray that her body can be found. And I was like, I pray that the truth can come out about what happened to her. I pray that her mother's boyfriend ends up telling the truth of where he put her body. I know that she is missing, but, like, I just want her body to be found because I want her body to be laid to rest. But when I was thinking about her and saying these things, a yellow butterfly flew in front of me, flew in the car in front of me, and it flew in front of my windshield. And I was researching it on Google. I look at all these different nature signs, these different angel number signs. And for the yellow butterfly, it was just talking about hope. And it was also talking about a deceased loved one. And it was saying that they were at peace. So although I don't know her and she don't know me, I believe that was a sign from God when that butterfly flew past me to let me know that she is at peace. But I would just like to be more at peace knowing that her body is found and she's buried and she's taken care of. But I would just like to keep her name alive and let us not forget her. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Please rate, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. Okay, you guys have a good rest of your day.